$1 dinner, beet risotto.
I feel like there's a lot of hype out there about risotto, like it's some kind of fancy, unattainable, high-end entree that's really hard to make. I remember going to a girl's house where she served risotto, and right before dinner you could hear her in the kitchen just like cranking on that risotto, like she was doing reps like she was gonna have a beach bod by the morning. Maybe I'm not doing it right, but it doesn't seem that complicated. It seems like a humble, simple meal made of arborio rice that's so freaking delicious.
Just gently saute like a quarter cup of diced onions in a quarter cup of butter, and then add a cup or so of arborio rice. Mix till it is coated. Then add a quarter cup or so, a couple glugs of dry white wine. I didn't have any dry white wine, so I used white vermouth, and it worked really well. I've been trying to make this recipe of beet risotto. I used to eat at Il Pastel back when I had a generous expense account, and this is the closest I have ever come, and I'm beginning to think that maybe the vermouth was the trick. Then pour a couple cups of vegetable broth on top of the risotto and just put it on the back burner and let it warm without stirring for 10 minutes or so. You know, a low simmer. While that simmers, just prepare your beets. I didn't really follow a recipe, so I don't know what I was doing, but I sauteed the rest of my onions in like a quarter cup of olive oil, and then I shaved 2 beets using a grater. I added them, mixed with the onions, and heated up until they were a little bit soft, and I added some garlic, and I stirred it around, and then I was done. Okay, now we're into the stirring end of this business. By now your risotto should have softened a bit, the liquid will have boiled down a bit, and now you just want to add like a half cup to a cup of broth at a time and stir the risotto so that the starch in the rice comes loose, thickening the sauce around the rice. Eventually the rice will be soft enough and the sauce kind of thick enough that you can add your beets, mix together, add maybe one more half cup of broth, stir together until you have a consistency that's like a thick soup, almost like a chili is the way that I like it. Then I just plated it with some feta cheese, a little chopped up parsley. And I mean, this is just beets and rice. It really is a fancy meal that can be made for basically $1.